Manchester Spurs lead St. Anne Orchids 29-25, make that 29-26 as we start the third quarter in game one of the best of three finals, the Netball Jamaica Seprod Elite League. We're at the National Arena in Kingston. Manchester Spurs in possession.
So there's been a change, Ricardo, in the Spurs. Abigail Sullivan is now at center and Crystal Crawford moves to wing attack. Crystal Plummer back at wing defense.
Cornelia Walker still at center for the St. Anne Orchids. Oh, beautifully done.
Yeah, beautiful play. Suzanne was off balance and had nowhere to go, being off balance. So it's always advised to be in a position of a stable position once you have possession of the ball. That way, if you're not seeing an option forward, you can always go back.
Look at that, the advantage 6, 32-26. Manchester Spurs in front. Robinson arrives in time but doesn't put the shot away. Gets a second opportunity, Rebecca Robinson, from a tougher position, but she nails it this time, 32-27.
Good shot, and she was very good in that play in terms of the phases, first and second phase. I thought she did well in terms, and then she came in and finished the shot, so that was good playing by Rebecca, and that was an awesome play by Shanice and well fed by Slater.
33-27, Manchester Spurs leading the St. Anne Orchids by 6. This is third quarter action. Game 1, best of 3 finals, Netball Jamaica Seprod Elite League. Cornelia Walker for the Orchids.
Contact picked up outside the circle on Kimon Shaw.
Into Rebecca Robinson. Robinson goes high, but she's short. Does a neat little split and then puts it away for a 33-28 scoreline. The Orchids down by 5. Spurs with the center pass.
So it was a good follow by Rebecca. The defender never boxed out, and so she was able to recover or rebound unanswered. Sorry, not unanswered. That was an easy goal for the Spurs.
Yeah, too easy for Chantel Slater. No pressure really. Orchids head forward. Robinson looking for Spence. Overcooked. And the Spurs come away with it 34-28. They lead by 6. Opportunity to make it 7. The St. Anne Orchids really need to work overtime here to get possession of the ball. They don't want to go behind by 7, and then it will be Manchester center pass. Inside to Slater. Slater looks up. Oh, Slater misses, but it's going to be Spurs ball, I think.
Yes, it is. I think the defender was outside and she touched the ball on the rebound.
Shanice Beckford toes the line. This time the Orchids will get possession, just what the doctor ordered for the team in purple and gold.
So let's see how they transition through court with this one, Orchid.
Oh, great defending, terrific defending, and just unfortunate.
Yeah, should have tried to flick it back. The outcome was almost obvious. I should have tried to swing it back in court. I'm hoping that it falls into the hands of one of them.
Oh, wow.
Great play.
What a fiery ball inside.
Well done by Hanson. That's a great pass, and Rebecca was in the right position.
And well taken by Robinson as well, because that had pace.
Yeah, a lot of firepower in that pass. But it needed to be that quick to beat the defenders, so that was a great play.
34-29, Spurs in possession. Beckford lumps it into Slater. Slater turns, Slater shoots, Slater scores. 35-29, back up by 6, the Manchester Spurs. Orchids in possession. Walker. Inside to Spence.
I'm surprised Spence never took a shot at goal in that one. Defenders read it.
Yeah, had done that once too many.
Yep.
And they picked it up perfectly that time, and now Beckford at the other end makes them pay. 36-29.
As the more the game progresses, it's the slower Suzanne Douglas, in terms of her movement. You can see that she's really being impacted by the injury.
Spurs up by 7, and this should be 8. It is 8. 37-29, and the St. Anne Orchids have an uphill battle now.
Yeah, Beckford made the move on the baseline. She was unused, but a better option was there through Slater, and she finished the shot. Sabrina Spence answers.
Yeah, gets that one to go. Sabrina Spence, 37-37 the difference. They need to get some interceptions here, the St. Anne Orchids, at least try and get this game close again. But life is getting easier and easier for Chantal Slater.
It is. The defenders are not as impactful as they were in the first half.
And she doesn't need it to be easy. Oh, that's a terrible miss.
Yeah, terrible miss by Spence. They needed that goal for sure. This now could be 9.
That's been a huge difference as well in this match. When the ball gets into the circle for the Manchester Spurs, Chantal Slater has been so clinical with assistance from Shanice Beckford. Here is Beckford into Slater, and Slater almost surely puts it away. 39-30. There's a reason she's been the most accurate shooter in this entire competition, and we're seeing her at work tonight. She's been brilliant again.
She's been brilliant, and I think another tactical timeout being called by the Orchids here. Let's see what the maestros Dalton Hines and Kurt Dale will be doing on this one. I'm sure coaches Rashid Joseph and Phyllis Thompson are pretty cool. They're sitting confidently based on their team's position in terms of the scoreboard. Not a lot of talking happening this time, just the swapping around of bibs for the Orchids.
Manchester Spurs know they're in the driver's seat.
Yep, the coaches, you can look at the coaches and know, because you're allowing the players to have that type of conversation, and they're just now chiming into the discussion.
And Shanice Beckford, she will know that there is no time for complacency. Nice crowd has built inside the National Arena. Always great to see the support for netball in this country.
Yeah, top team sport, female sport in the country for many years. Always ranked in the top 5 in the world.
Top team sport in the country.
Top team sport. I was being modest, right?
Hands down. It's not even a contest.
Just about to get some funding around the sport.
Yeah, more funding.
Yeah, well, more funding. There is some funding, but it's about getting more funding around the sport so that ladies can be better.
Manchester Spurs set the pass to get us underway. Under 8:30 to go in the third quarter, and the Spurs find Slater again, and she doesn't miss those.
Yeah, doesn't miss it. But what I liked about that particular play from the Orchids is that the Spurs had to make a few passes before getting into the goal, so it wasn't as easy as previous plays or other plays. And I like when there's some form of defense happening, because I always think about the bigger picture. When the girls go overseas, there is no pass uncontested for them, so the more they can get that type of practice here, the better it is for us when they play on the international stage.
10 goals the difference. And it is a massive difference, and this one is starting to have a one-sided look as well, but the netball is still entertaining. 40-31. Orchids have dug themselves into a hole here.
Yes, they have.
Can they blossom and find a way back in this?
Let's see. That's a contact call on the defender. Slater being doing ball girl duties.
This is the third time this season that these teams are meeting. The Spurs edged the Orchids 45-41 in the first match of the season. And when the Orchids needed to win in the last game of the preliminary stage, they got the better of the Spurs.
Massive win for that.
Yes, 65-49 it was.
Let's build that position just now with the Orchids.
41-31 it is here. That's well taken by Slater.
Yep.
42-31.
Some more finishing from Slater. I'm not sure her body is in shape to run at this level for the entire game. So let's see how if she I can see but not holding up as much as it did in the first half.
That is an 11-goal advantage, but the Orchids have possession. Well won by Shanice Beckford. Spurs back on the offense. 6:20 to go in the third quarter.
Love to see an attacker play defense and get intercepts.
I realize that. Beckford comes up short. Oh, she does brilliantly. This is great stuff. This is exhibition stuff.
I would have preferred if Beckford had gone to pole just now. That last pass was unnecessary and they've lost possession for it.
Orchids possession. They need this. They need to convert this. Oh, well done. Quick movement of the netball. That's lovely stuff.
So there's a new wing attack on for the Orchids. Kean Cousins is now on as wing attack. And she's in the thick of things.
They need to make these possessions count as Rebecca Robinson gets it into Sabrina Spence, and Spence nails that one. 42-33, 9 goals the difference.
9 goals, and I'm realizing now that Kwanya Walker was benched. Hansen is now at center, and Cousins, as I said before, is now at wing attack.
Hansen with the center pass. Robinson back to Hansen. Hansen has a good look at Sabrina Spence. Spence has a good look at goal, and she puts it away. 43-34 is it?
Alright, so that's a good shot from Spence. Can be a case that you're trading goals now though.
Oh, lovely turn.
Crawford is doing very well at wing attack for the Spurs.
Beckford misses.
Throw in outbound off Douglas. Almost good try. Nice backup from Crystal Plummer.
Slater. Shanice Beckford.
Doesn't count as a miss, Ricardo, because it's a penalty, so she have another opportunity.
And doesn't make a mistake. 44-34, 10 the difference. Coming up to 3.5 to go in the third quarter.
Contact on Plummer. So there's somebody free in attack. What are they doing with the pass? Almost squandered it.
That almost looked hopeful, but it landed. Robinson.
Yeah, second jump would have been obstruction on Paula and
Gets
Burton.
Closer Robinson and puts it away. 44-36. Is it? Or is it still 35? 44-35. 9 the difference. We're getting to the power play now. Oh, and the Orchids get an interception.
Yeah, nice play from Hansen. Let's see if Sabrina can get it.
Spence goes for 2.
Nice save by Rebecca.
Robinson does brilliantly.
Felt like she could have tried a little harder to balance on that one though.
Here is Spence again. Oh, that one was closer. Now Robinson will mop things up by scoring 44-36. The difference is 8.
Yeah, the difference is 8. Their centre pass, they need a 2 though. The closer you are, the more likely it is for the other team to make an error.
That will be a 1.
They're taking a 1.
37-44. The difference is 7.
Still have another quarter, a lot of time to play. But you want to ensure at all times that you're cutting into that, you're eating into that lead.
Yeah, you don't want to get into panic mode quite yet. Manchester Spurs in possession. This is really good defending from the Orchids.
Yeah,
and they get the intercept.
Yeah, I'd prefer if Beckford would have stayed on her base, a stronger base, but she was off on one leg, and so the option becomes narrow or limited once you're on one leg.
Oh, Spurs defending well themselves, but that is beautiful netball from the Orchids.
Yep, they peg another one back. So let's see their centre pass to come. I still prefer to see a power play, a 2-pointer, to kind of bring some pressure back into the on the Spurs.
They have scored mostly 1-pointers, but they have narrowed the lead to 6. 44-38, 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in this quarter. That's lobbed inside for Spence. Spence puts it up. Spence scores. The lead is now 5. 44-39, 1:08 to go.
Nice rally here. I think there's a tactical timeout from the Spurs. They've seen their lead just whittle to 5. And so coaches need to talk to the players just to get them back focused. Good comeback from the Orchids. It'll be great once they get the scores level, but it's good for now, and they need to just ensure that they continue to build on this.
Yeah, smart move as well to just stem the flow of the Senan Orchids.
Alright, so the faces of the coaches changed from the last time what we saw. Of course it will change because the score is also changed, where they're now being caught up by the Orchids team.
Earlier, the St. Catherine Racers got the better of the Kingston Hummingbirds in the third place playoff.
That game. Yeah, it's a third place playoff. Both teams are done for the season. The Racers kind of stayed that they were like at the bottom of the table for the entire season, and they finished just above, so they're finishing third, so that's good for them. I'm hoping that the team, the Hummingbirds, would have taken lessons from the loss. What you have to, as a coach, you want to ensure that from losses you're taking lessons and come back better for next season.
Oh wow, another turnover. The St. Orchids with another chance to cut into this lead.
.47 seconds on the clock. Let's see if they're able to take it safely through. Defensive pressure is good from the Spurs. It forced them back to a reset on the transverse line. Crystal Plummer interrupts play.
Robinson. That would have been 2 a few minutes ago. It's 1 now.
It's 2, still 2. That's a power play shot.
Oh yes, final quarter, brilliant.
Yes, still 2.
Lost my bearings for a second there as we come to the end of the third. 44-41, what a turnaround from the St. Orchids. They are within 3. Can I say we're in quarter 3 overtime? And the Orchids have another chance to cut into this lead. But they don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, there goes the ball.
And the buzzer sounds. It's now a 3-point advantage of the Netball Jamaica Seprod Elite League Finals, and the Manchester Spurs lead the St. Anne Orchids 44-41. They're up by 3. They have the centre pass here with a chance to go up by 4, and they get the ball into a very reliable campaigner in Chantel Slater, but it's now with Beckford to Slater. Slater scores just what you want at the start of the final quarter, 45-41.
Yeah, Ricardo, as I said, it's about going back to what they were doing well for the most of the game. I'm just scanning through court here to see if there are any changes. Looks unchanged for both teams. Missed opportunity there from Rebecca Robinson. But they're playing a defense here. They're playing a hard defense.
45-41. Manchester Spurs in possession. They can go up by 5 here. No, they lose possession.
Yeah. So it's about punishing them now. You want to punish teams, especially if you're down. Once they give up possession.
Spence. 42-45. Well done by Sabrina Spence.
Yeah, Sabrina Spence, game on. 3 goals of difference. And put some level of pressure on the Spurs to ensure that this one is scored.
Chantal Slater, so reliable, so dependable, so efficient.
Yeah, amazing. It's good to see what that women are able to return to sport after giving birth. Shelley is the queen of that, but a lot of netballers are doing that as well, both locally and internationally.
Slater nails another one. 47-42, 5 the difference. The Orchids need to start cutting into that lead. Although 12 and a half minutes is a lot of time in netball, but here is Slater again to make it 6. 48-42, just what the doctor ordered for the Manchester Spurs at the start of the final quarter.
So Manchester Spurs is doing a good job of keeping the Orchids at bay. What the Orchids are not doing well is that they're not able to maintain the pressure. They keep getting close and then taking their feet off the throttle.
That could have been catastrophic. They're fortunate to get away with that, the St. Anne Orchids.
They are, so let's see if they'll use it. They're fortunate. I thought the defenders did good just now.
This is just really good defending. Spence might be able to break free here, or does Robinson go for the shot? She goes for the shot and she nails it. That's a big one. That's an important one.
Important one, and all net right through the middle. That's good shooting from Robinson. Pace of the game has slowed. An offensive contact is called. Slater is not in agreement, and I think the fans also showing their disapproval, or sounding their disapproval.
48-43, 5 the difference. The Orchids have the opportunity to make it 4. The defending is solid though on the part of the Manchester Spurs, but the Orchids maintain possession, working overtime to get the ball into Sabrina Spence, and Spence puts another one away. 10:37 to go, 48-44 for the difference, and the Orchids have the center pass. They can get it back to 3 here like it was at the start of this quarter. The ball comes inside to Spence. She doesn't know what to do with it, and Rebecca Robinson comes in for support and has a chance to cut the deficit to 3, which she does. 48-45, 10 minutes to go, and we have a terrific game 1 on in this best of 3 final series.
Yeah, clumsy defense from Paul and Burton, the goalkeeper there, touching the ball in Rebecca's hand before the shot. So it gave Rebecca a chance to move closer to the hoop, and so she scored it. And then we have Chantel answering at the other end, Slater, that is, with a goal as well.
The Manchester Spurs know that all they have to do is to get the ball into Chantal Slater as Sabrina Spence gets around the defender and gets possession and gets the contact as well. Leaves it now for Rebecca Robinson, who needs to be clinical at the back end of this match, and she is on that occasion. 49-46.
Yep, she'll lead that, and I'm seeing that a little sign of frustration on Sabrina Spence just now in terms of the challenge at the
that's poor from the Orchids. They get the ball with a chance to cut the deficit to 2, and they give it right back.
Yep, that has been the story of the game.
That's the sort of thing that can really frustrate a coach.
Yep, it is. It can, and it does frustrate, I'm sure, all coaches. Nice take from Beckford.
This is where you like to see Beckford really raise her game. That wasn't the best pass though, and they are fortunate to get away with it. The contact on Slater, who nails their 50th goal. 50-46, Spurs over Orchids.
Yeah, the Orchids, they still have a chance. They're still in the game.
That was not a great pass.
Yep, that's a good call from the umpire. I thought the attacker caused contact, and the umpire deemed the same thing based on the call that was made.
Into Slater, goal 51 loading. Goal number 51 scored. The Manchester Spurs up by 5 again, and 8 minutes to go in the final quarter. They have an opportunity to go up by 6. Lovely ball coming from Beckford. Beckford gets it back. Slater waits inside. Slater commanding her goal area well, and Beckford finishing off 52-46.
Yeah, you can see in Slater's play, she's completely just using her body and experience to play the game now. Her fitness level is not on par, and so she's using netball smarts in terms of how she angles and positions her body to play in this 4th quarter.
Rebecca Robinson will get another opportunity. Robinson puts this one away. 52-47. Have they allowed it to get away from them, the St. Anne Orchids, or can they find a way to make this exciting in the closing stages?
I reckon they might make it exciting. Rebecca is a range shooter as well, so if they're down close to the end, I'm expecting some 2-point attempts from Robinson.
Slater puts the lead back to 6.
Timeout. There's a timeout. That's happening. Some changes happening by the Orchids. So Deisha Johnson is coming on a goal attack, and Quania Walker is back on a wing attack.
Can the Orchids make one final burst? They are down by 6, but they have clawed their way back before. Well won by Sabrina Spence.
Deisha Johnson missing her first attempt.
Is there a new player at goal attack for the Orchids?
Yes, Odisha Johnson.
Yeah, so Johnson played for the under-21 team at the Caribbean Championships last year. Well, the Caribbean Games was the official name. finally introduced into the game tonight.
Well, quite a few of them from the Canuck games on court now. Kim Shaw is 1, Sutherland is 2, Crystal Plummer 3, Odisha 4, Johnson 4. Yeah, so there are 4 of them on court.
Building blocks for the future.
Correct.
Spurs building a nice lead going into the last 5 minutes of this encounter. They lead 54-48. That's by 6. Slater can make it 7. Here is Beckford.
Nice try from the center, from the Orchids.
Slater puts that away. 55-48. You sense that is it. So unlikely the Orchids will come back from 7 down with 4:40 to go.
Are you calling the fat lady as it, Ricardo?
I think she's already walking. Now she is checking the microphones.
She's doing her mic check.
56-48.
Well done.
It's about to be 57-48. Slater. Oh, Beckford with a twirl.
Good
Beautifully done.
As well.
She's a delight to watch.
Delightful Shanice.
For sure. She's come on the back of some outstanding goal attacks for Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Mind you, the most aesthetically pleasing Jamaican attacking player I have seen, whether it be goal shoot or goal attack, is Connie Francis. That woman could do things in the circle that would get you excited.
Yes.
As a fan of the sport.
Absolutely. Legend of the sport, I call her. She's one of the netball legends.
58-48, long shot missed, picked up by Spence, can make it 58-49. She does make it 58-49. The difference is 9, but it's 3:15 to go. They will have the power play last 3 minutes of the contest, so that could make it interesting, but they haven't shown any consistency from distance tonight, the Orchids, as Beckford puts up another one and gets her team to 59. The difference is 10, and we are in the power play.
Yes, we are.
Orchids possession. Johnson puts that one up and scores.
Yeah, it seems as though she just got away with what it seems to have been an obstruction, so she would have gotten a chance to shoot again had it not gone in.
Beckford marshalling things inside the circle. And puts up another one. They hit the 60-goal mark, the Manchester Spurs.
She's been for the 2.
Johnson. Oh, brilliant. Where has she been all night?
Good shot from Johnson. Seems uninterested in the game, but that's a good shot.
Tactical timeout called by the St. Anne Orchids. Interesting time to call that timeout after a big 2-pointer coming from Odisha Johnson.
Yeah, so we're seeing some big change. I think Spence may be going into the defensive circle. Yeah, Spence will be swung from shoot to defense. So we're back on here. Let's see the changes. Sabrina Spence is now at goalkeeper.
Under 2:20 to go in this contest. The Manchester Spurs on their way to a 1-0 series lead in the best of 3 finals. They have a 60-52 advantage. And Shanice Beckford has the ball for the Spurs, with Chantal Slater waiting. The most accurate shooter in the competition puts away another one. She has produced another brilliant performance tonight, and she's been part of the difference for her team. Massive part of the difference.
A massive part of the difference. Very accurate. Even without being as fit as she would want to be, she's still very much imposing in the shooting circle. Lawrence is back on, and she's back on for the twos.
They know this is their only way back. Goes for 2 and gets it. 61, 54, 7 the difference.
7 the difference. I feel it's too late though, Ricardo.
Just over a minute to go. Possession, Manchester Spurs.
Ball. Beckford was trying a quick one by throwing the ball off court, but the umpire caught it and he held time.
(61:54), less than 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, the lady's singing. I think she's probably at the bridge of the song now.
I think you're spot on. They have managed the hills and valleys of this one very well, the Manchester Spurs, and they are the ones running away with it. 62:54, under 10 seconds to go. Final horn coming up. Orchids possession.
Just about 10 seconds on the stadium clock.
Johnson misses.
Yeah, and a minute now, yep.
And the horn goes. Manchester Spurs take a 1-0 advantage into